Well, Dave, this next story, it has a special meaning to me because my grandparents have always been a really special part of my life, and today is their 68th wedding anniversary. So here's the story of spending nearly 7 decades together and how they keep that love going strong.
A trip down memory lane.
Papa, y'all were so young you were. I mean, you're still young, but
we were 18 years old.
68 years of laughter, tears, happiness, and sadness.
You have to have real true love. If you have real true love, you can step over all the obstacles.
Lula Mae and Jimmy Reed met at 16. Jimmy noticing her at midnight mass.
He didn't actually meet.
right. But he saw you.
He saw me
At midnight
and said,
mass.
this is the girl I want.
This is the girl I like.
It was just that easy, right, Paul? It was just that easy?
They didn't speak that night, but as fate would have it, 2 years later, they met up once again. This time, Jimmy says he wasn't going to let her get away.
Always, and his saying was, he always wanted a tall, dark, and handsome boy. He was tall and had the dark hair, and he was so clean cut.
2 years later, they talked about marriage, but once again, fate intervened.
I came back from work, and Levy was pressing their clothes, and she handed me a letter written in red, greetings. I knew what it was, you know.
Very depressing. In more ways than one, because we had planned to get married. We thought we'd have a future together, and then we had to put it on hold. Then when he came back on furlough for Christmas, he came, and we got married in December.
While the wedding wasn't what either of them envisioned, they were together, and that's all that mattered.
I went to live with him in April at Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma. And we lived there until he left to go overseas.
Once Jimmy was released from the Army, he and Lula quickly built a life in Iota, one that would, over the years, include 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren.
We're blessed with God's help. The faith pulled us through a lot of obstacles in our life.
And as you could imagine, 68 years is packed with many memories, good and bad. The best moments for this couple, just being together.
He could have had a job making more money years back, working in the oil field and being away from home, and he chose to be home and taking less. And I don't think we've ever had any regrets. We were poor, but we were happy. We had our 3 children, and we were together every night.
68 years after saying I do, their love is still going strong, and while they can give scores of advice on how to keep a marriage together, for them, it's as simple as this.
You argue, but you never fight.
I like that one.
Yeah. I called it a heavy discussion.
Or Papa, is it yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Aw, Mama and Papa with the cows.
Mama and Papa with the cows. And there's a picture of my mom as a child, and she had a pet cow. Like, the cow was like on a leash, and she would like walk him everywhere, and she would ride the cow, and like, I'm
Such a
surprised she didn't
sweet
sleep
couple.
next
I
to
had
the
the
cow.
pleasure of meeting them a few weeks ago, and just awesome.
Yeah, so it was definitely was one of those stories that like you go back and you're like, I'm gonna have this forever, you know. So, and I mean, 68 years, that's a long time.
That's forever.
That is forever.
Happy anniversary.